Where do the ideas we at Traditionalism Today push for come from? What is traditionalism at its roots? In this video, I'm going to cover the history of traditionalism from its early anti-enlightenment ideas to roughly the modern day. Traditionalism, as defined in other videos, is a Western ideology focusing on the reverting to previous social norms. Generally, we aim for pre-World War II norms in this movement, though with some caveats. Our ideology finds its roots in the Enlightenment, more specifically the rejection of it. This is called the counter-enlightenment. While we can agree that some good things came from the Enlightenment, the general rejection of tradition, hierarchy, and religion is something we cannot be on board with. We're sympathetic or outright supportive of monarchy, believe in traditional hierarchy, but also the idea of noblesse oblige to go with that. And most traditionalists do not agree with the separation of church and state. The counter-enlightenment had major figures and thinkers such as Giovanni Battista Vico, who rejected reductionism, and Edmund Burke, who rejected secularization and anti-religious sentiments of the Enlightenment. Burke was also a believer in gradual progress, something that we still hold. Now I know what you're thinking. Traditionalists want progress, even if it's slow? Yes, progress always exists, especially in the realm of technology. It's not helpful or even logical for our movement to get bogged down by Luddism. These figures laid the groundwork for traditionalism through the counter-enlightenment. The counter-enlightenment was, however, far from the only influence on traditionalism. Catholic theology has a play in it too. While not a strictly Catholic movement, we find much of our ideas in Catholic morals and social teaching. In traditionalist thought, the tradition holds in a way an understanding of the world that works for a good reason. If you ask many Christians, that knowledge comes from God. While reason is a great influence on how to find our ideas, it cannot be strictly found that way according to many. We often use that divine aspect not as a justification for accused harm, but as an ultimate reason for the existence of true morals. These Catholic ideas and counter-enlightenment ideas were also commonly popularized by the same people. People like Joseph de Maistre, a political philosopher from the island of Sardinia. He had what you would call traditionalist ideas, like pro-monarchism and the legitimacy of tradition. Which, of course, traditionalists value that, in case one couldn't tell by the name. Something else about traditionalists is our reverence for historical states, like the Holy Roman Empire, the British Empire, the Kingdom of France, and the Kingdom of Spain. But the most notable one is Rome, the founder of our Western civilization. Rome covered much of what we now know as the West during its peak, and it was through this empire that Christianity spread, ironic considering its early persecution of that same religion. To be a Western nation means to find some kind of roots in Rome, even if it's the Slavs, the Germanics, or direct Latin descendants. The empire's legal code and manner of governance shaped our entire civilization and therefore our thought. And as mentioned before, is why Europeans are a Christian people. Traditionalism as an ideology has evolved immensely over the centuries. Especially as things progress, the definition of tradition changes. A traditionalist in 1790 France wanted to retain an absolutist and highly Catholic nation, and a modern French traditionalist, while retaining that Catholic reverence, probably doesn't want an absolute monarchy. If he even wants one, he likely wants something less powerful. Another example of how our beliefs change over time is in our anti-immigration views. Because of changing circumstances such as mass immigration, we've had to turn our attention to something previous traditionalists may not have thought about very much. Today, traditionalism is unfortunately not taken all too seriously. This is largely due to the negative online presence it has, with so much of it being represented by unserious and uncommitted men and women who focus entirely on the aesthetics, like the cabin in the woods and the dresses. This gives off the idea that a traditionalist must be like that, which is generally unattainable, unrealistic, and not at all necessary. We appreciate traditional fashion choices and recognize how this kind of content can help guide people down the path of traditional lifestyles, but it's not what our focus should be. We need to place more emphasis on actual policy and political strategy, particularly on combating feminism, abortion, and immigration. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you to our member Devon for writing the basis of this script. We're very appreciative of the help. Our movement and channel are still new, so please help us out by subscribing, sharing, and commenting. It really helps in the YouTube algorithm. Also check out our new X account.